I want us to jump to John 16, verse 13, where Jesus said something. He said, when he, the Spirit of truth, has come, he will guide you into all the truth. And at the end of the verse, it says, he will show you things to come. Now, I've talked to you about that before. The word guide is the Greek word hodega. It comes from the Greek word hodos, which is the Greek word for a road. But when it becomes hodega, it describes a road guide or a tour guide or one who leads you on an excursion. Well, what does a tour guide do? A tour guide knows everything. Well, you don't know everything because you've never been to the site before. That's why you have a
Tour guide.
a tour guide. You get a tour guide because you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know what's interesting, you don't know what you need to avoid, you don't know where the toilets are, you don't know anything. But the tour guide is a professional. He knows everything that is there. And that's the word which Jesus used to describe the ministry of the Holy Spirit, which means if we will listen to him. And that's the key. If we'll listen to him, the Holy Spirit will say, hey, let me take you by the hand. I know everything in front of you. I know all the landmines planted by the enemy. I know everything you need to circumvent. I know how to walk you around every attack. I know all the sites, everything you need to avoid, everything you need to do. I've been there. I've seen it all. I'm a pro at what is in front of you. Which means if we'll listen to him, he will lead us. And I want to give you an example. In John chapter 11, we have the story of Lazarus being raised from the dead. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not going to turn there, but I'm just going to discuss it with you. So, Jesus receives word that Lazarus is sick. And Jesus doesn't move. For 3 days, he doesn't budge. Now, isn't that interesting? And Lazarus, his dear friend, is very nigh unto death. And the disciples are amazed. Why aren't we going? And Jesus just does not move for 3 days. And at the end of 3 days, Jesus says, now we're going to go. And then Jesus makes an amazing statement. He says there's 12 hours of the day. If you walk in the night, you're going to walk in darkness. But if you walk during the light of the day, you're going to walk in light. And Jesus here was really talking about being led by the Holy Spirit. If you just move on your own, you're going to move in darkness. But if you'll walk in the light that's being given to you, you'll see what you need to do. And Jesus was led by the Holy Spirit not to go to Lazarus in those first 3 days. You know why? An attack was waiting for Jesus. Because all the Jews who wanted to kill Jesus thought he would show up. So they all came. They were ready to stone him. But when Lazarus died and Jesus never showed up, they dropped their stones, they all went home, and that's when the Holy Spirit spoke to Jesus and said, now, go. Jesus was walking in the light that was revealed to him. And sometimes, guess what? You can only see the light a little ways in front of you. Just because you're walking in the light doesn't mean you see everything that's going to happen next week. Sometimes the walk is day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, and Jesus just knew, I'm released now. Now we can go. And when he showed up, that attack that had been set for him had been completely foiled. He walked around a landmine, and he raised Lazarus from the dead anyhow. But that's what Jesus did, and Jesus trusted the Holy Spirit and said to us that we need to trust him. He is our guide. Joel?